Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up, some special guests here in the studio. But first, let's get our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Nice weather. We're getting a little bit of what I call this pre-spring weather. And don't get excited. It's still about a month away before the first day of spring, but it's looking a lot better than it looked last week or two. High today, 67, low 47, so it's been cool, nice, and getting on up in this weekend, maybe looking at the 70s. But the water temperature was fascinating. This morning, the first reading we've had since the beginning of winter has hit 60 degrees. We're looking at 61 degrees this morning. You know, yesterday's show, we were so excited that it hit 59. But it was 50, this time last week it was 56 degrees, and we know how critical that water temperature is to everyone out there. And when we start getting around 66, that's going to be the Spanish migration. But again, we're a little bit early talking about it, but I just go ahead and plan it in your mind so you'll be excited about it. Hunting season winding down for a lot of folks, and we're going to be looking at that Spanish run usually around March 17th to 20th. So don't hold me to that, but water temperature going up like that looks good. Our river readings, take a look on the screen at river readings. Our price school of Bluntstown is reading a 15.8. It's right at 16 foot. It's going to bump up a little bit next day or two, but then it's going to fall out for the weekend. So be aware of that. At Choctawhatchee at Caryville, about the same boat. It's reading right now. It's at it's at 11 foot, and it's going up a little bit too. It's going to stay. They're still in that little high stage. You look on the color chart on the screen. They're both still high, so it's looking good there. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Strong tides going on into the weekend. It's going to be some good fishing with those high tides this weekend. The low tide this morning is at 4:59. The high tide is at 6:53. We're looking at a 1.8 foot range on that tide chart. It's looking good. Marine forecast for tomorrow, we're looking at northeast about 5 to 10. So it's going to be a pretty day today and pretty day tomorrow. Okay, we're going to take our break and come back with our guest. Welcome back to the show, and welcome to our special guest this morning, Miss Patrice Couch, St. Andrew Bay Watch. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Jess Johnson, Marketing Director at Bay Point.
Good morning.
Good morning to both of y'all, and glad to have you on the show. We've got some exciting things to talk about, but first let's tell the folks out there a little bit about yourself. I'll start with you, Patrice.
Well, I'm the director of St. Andrew Bay Watch, and we've been testing water quality in the Bay for 25 years. We're a nonprofit citizens group, so we train volunteers from the community, and we're keeping tabs on the health of the Bay. We sample every month.
We talk about this on a regular basis, the health environment of the whole Florida Panhandle, from the ponds and rivers, and I'm always talking about the water samples and the things that this organization does. So, and she's the director. I've been trying to come on for how many years now? Several years. She's a little shy, but finally got her on. We drug her through the door a while ago, got her in here. But so glad to have you. We're going to talk about a little bit later about all the things they do, and this is critical to all of our viewers out there, the health of our Bay systems. All right, Jess, what brings you down?
Well, I'm Director of Sales and Marketing at the new Sheraton Bay Point Resort that's going to be opening mid-2016, and of course it's located on the Grand Lagoon in St. Andrew Bay. So obviously we're partnering with St. Andrew Bay Resource Association and Baywatch to help protect our natural resources and make sure that everyone's educated about how important it is to make sure that those are being protected.
We're talking about what a win-win situation this is. You know, we as outdoorsmen, we wanted health and all, but we can't do it by ourselves. So many other volunteers come out and do things and all, and it's just great. It's great to have you on the show, of course, but great to have you doing what y'all do, and having an organization as big as yours, to recognize that's wonderful. Tell us some of the things. Your background, basically. How'd you end up doing something like this?
Well, I graduated from UWF in Pensacola. I have a degree in marine biology, and I worked for the federal and state agencies for several years. I did fish stock assessment in Choctawhatchee Bay, and then I ended up managing oyster harvesting in Northwest Florida. And then when I had my little boy, I went into semi-retirement, and then a friend of mine recruited me to come work for RMA, and it's been great. I've been there 9 years.
Wow, it don't seem like you've been there that long. You've been there about as long as I've been doing the show. That's about that's good, because our names have passed back and forth a lot, and I've run into you on all kind of occasions and all, and we've had some of our kids help y'all do some things. Now, tell us a little bit about your background, Jess.
Been in hospitality for over 25 years, so and from the hotel side, it's so vital and so important that we understand green hotels, and especially in our areas, and what we do in surrounding areas and how we take care of those natural resources.
This is interesting how the industry has recognized that. Back in the day and all, they'd bulldoze down everything and put up that hotel right there on, but now everybody has such an environmental awareness on the construction and all. Have you seen that develop in your career?
Absolutely, yeah. It's changed dramatically over the years, and we're just trying to find new ways to be more resourceful and less wasteful, and composting and anything we can do to help the environment locally, and also the people that are visiting us want to see more of that too.
They don't want to come down and see a bunch of sidewalks and concrete out there, do they?
No.
They want to see the natural. They really do. And we're talking about the natural area, trying to keep it like it is. And it's great that on your end have the industry aware of that. We appreciate that. We got all kind of pictures and all. We're gonna take a break, come back and show you some pictures these folks do, and then we've got a fundraiser coming up a little bit later too. So let's take our break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So here with our guests, Patrice and Jess, and we're talking about how people are more environmentally aware. Developers are, even and it's not illegal or immoral to develop, but we want to take care of our environment as we do that, and then we're seeing more and more of that. But it's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Well, our economy depends on clean water and a clean bay, and so it's really the foundation of all of it.
And we were talking during the commercial break about so many areas like in Central and South Florida suffering now because they haven't managed their water. Like you said, Indian River Lagoon. Yeah, and that was a pristine area back in the day. And what a wonderful place it was. So we sort of can learn from other folks' mistakes up here before we really get wall-to-wall places. So let's go through the program. What's the mission of San Andrew Bay Resource Management? What is y'all's basic mission?
Well, we operate several programs just to help take care of the bay, make sure it's properly managed. Mm-hmm. So I'm in charge of the water quality, which is the Bay Watch, but we also do living shorelines. Mm-hmm. We have a seagrass restoration monitoring, scallop restoration monitoring. Of course, the most famous is our Turtle Watch program.
Okay. We have two right here on the screen real quick. We have Bay Watch and Turtle Watch. Those two right there. And then you also have, like I said, we have the living shorelines, seagrass, and scallops. Mm-hmm. And we've had some of our kids have worked some with the scallop restoration. That's fascinating. Have you got the latest word on? I put you on the spot. How's the scallops doing?
Well, the last survey I saw said the populations were improving, but I haven't got the most recent one. But we work with the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. To help with their recovery efforts.
Well, that is a lot of fun, and we took kids out there and planted them, threw them out there and all, and up around the old airport. And when I was doing the book, people know this, when I interviewed the old timers back in the day, and that area where Gulf Coast and FSU and the old airport, that was the most fertile scallop area of all time in San Andrew Bay system. And I noticed
it still is. They still get good recruitment there, but we're going to be continuing to work with them. They're real interested in our water quality data because of the salinity profile in the bay, which is real important for scallop growth.
Okay. Now we got some pictures. We'll go along the way now. So tell us about We'll go through the picture and tell us about this one right here.
Okay, this is a photo of the shoreline behind the Hibiscus by the Bay condominium, and in 2014 they were having severe erosion. So we went in and did a living shoreline. We planted marsh grasses, and that's actually the after picture.
Okay.
And then.
There's a golf term. We're going to. Okay, tell us.
Part of our education and outreach is working with students, and so it's often we have student interns come and do the water sampling and work in the lab. We work with students at PCMI, and we've had interns from North Bay Haven Charter Academy. So.
And there's not a better way to make them aware of it than actually let them work actually do it with their hands.
Actually, yes, it's great. A lot of them are exploring careers in environmental science, so it's a great way to get their feet wet.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Who's this young man here?
That is Jack Harvey. He's our West Bay sample team captain, and he's actually collecting a chlorophyll sample out in West Bay in that photo.
Okay, so when he gets it, okay, gets the sample right there, then he records it here, and it's monitored on a monthly basis,
It
right?
is. That's Mr. Barkaloo, Jim Barkaloo, who's my direct boss, and he's using a YSI data logger to record temperature, DO, salinity, and pH.
What's just in general, what's the overall health of our bay system? Maybe West Bay, North Bay, and East Bay. What?
Overall, our bay is in really good shape. We're fortunate, you know, we don't have a major river coming in, so we're known for our highly saline clear waters, which supports all this lush seagrass, which of course supports all the fish, crabs, and shrimp that we know and love. And so overall it's good. In Grand Lagoon we do see some nutrient loading, and in West Bay we have high turbidity, which has contributed to seagrass die-off in that part of the bay. So it's not perfect, but the data that we're collecting allows us to target those areas and try to get them corrected.
Explain to our viewers, when you use the word turbidity, what are we talking about?
Turbidity is a measure of water clarity. So, you know, just like plants on your yard have to have sun to grow, seagrasses are submerged under the water, so they need good light to grow. So turbidity is our way of measuring how clear the water is. So the water in West Bay isn't very clear anymore.
How long has it? It's been like 5 years, 10 years. How long has it been sort of going?
Over the past 17 years, we've noticed a trend of it, but you know, we're hoping that that's going to improve. We applied for a grant to do our next data analysis, and we find out in May if we get that funding, so we can bring our report and our analysis up to date.
And when we're talking about funding, that's basically your lifeblood. Is your
Definitely,
funding.
we're a nonprofit 501c3, so we're funded from grants and donations.
Yeah,
and that's why we're happy to be partnered with the Sheridan to help keep our programs funded.
What's this little device here? What is that now?
That is a turbidity meter, so there's a little glass sample cell. We pour a little bit of the water in and we put it down in the instrument. It passes a light through it, and the amount of light scatter gives you a measurement for the turbidity.
So what number do we want it on?
You want it to be hopefully less than 5 NTUs.
Well, we passed that one, didn't we?
Yeah, that's a spot in West Bay actually where the state's doing oyster reef restoration, and that one was 3.88 that day. So this is Bob Farsky, and he samples St. Andrew Bay, and he's actually getting ready to filter a chlorophyll sample in the lab. So chlorophyll's the green pigment found in plants, and we use it to quantify the amount of algae in the bay, which measures the bay's productivity. It's related to nutrients, you know.
That's interesting. Is that tube that big, or is it just close to the camera?
That's a graduated cylinder. It's about 500 milliliters, and what he's doing is pouring the sample through the top of the container, and we have a vacuum pump, and it pumps it through a little paper filter, which there is a picture
let me go back
somewhere that.
Where was it? Right here.
So there's actually a picture of what it looks like when there it is.
Right there.
So you can see at the top of that piece of glassware the little green pigment on the filter. So if you filter a known volume through and they measure the amount on the filter, then you know how much chlorophyll is in the water.
All right. What about this? What are they doing right here?
Okay, that's me, and in the yellow life jacket, that's Shayla, and in the back, Serena, and we're on Burnt Mill Creek taking a water sample, and I just couldn't resist that photo. It was just beautiful that day. And
gorgeous.
So that's on our little 18-foot john boat up on Burnt Mill Creek.
That's sort of fun stuff to do, isn't it?
It's awesome, yeah, I love it. So this is the photo of hibiscus when the people are installing the plants. We do like a lot of the work we do is volunteers. We had a big event. We had 35 people come out that day. We planted 500 feet of shoreline in about 2 hours.
Yeah, I remember announcing that on the show for help and all. That's in 2 hours you got
2 hours.
Wow. Okay.
All ages, and so that's after.
After it looks
So it's much better, you know, than hardening with a seawall because it provides habitat. As the rainwater flows off the land, the plants provide filtration. It's a lot less expensive than a seawall. Now, in this case, they did have to put some riprap because the erosion was severe. So we work with property owners who might want to explore natural alternatives instead of hardening with the seawall. Or
Well, and wouldn't that riprap also be a haven for some sea life and all, little
yes,
crabs and
yes, when the water comes up, you know, it's intertidal. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's
it
sort
could
of a
be.
combination. All of it in itself is pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, everybody just wanted to put a straight seawall in and right up there, you know, to the water's edge and all. But now it's more environmentally sound doing it this way, of course. Okay, what about this area here?
So this is a site at the entrance to Watson Bayou,
Okay.
and that's the before picture. So
All right.
again, the property owner came to us and was having some severe erosion. This is our boat, and you can see on the bow there's a bucket of the grasses, and we use smooth cord grass. And so these are the volunteers that are planting.
Okay.
Installing the plants. We had about 25 people come out that day, and that's after.
Oh, cool.
So, you know, a lot of people, one of the big mistakes people make is cutting down that vegetation along the shoreline. It actually accelerates the erosion. Just like sea oats hold the sand in place on the beach, these marsh grasses hold the sand in place on your bayfront property.
And we're talking about, we have a bunch of fishermen out there, a bunch of guys and girls that fish for redfish and trout. And you know, as that grass on the edge, when the high tide comes up, that's, you know, high tide, you're going to be fishing it. It's not on the sand. So we as outdoorsmen and fishermen, we love this, and we know it's good for our bay system. So next time they have something, we need to volunteer too and go, because that's planting our habitat too. It's like deer hunters going out and planting corn and all for the deer. So,
Absolutely,
okay.
and you know, homeowners shouldn't be put off by that. It's soft; you can still walk through it. You still have your beach, and if you put a seawall in, you lose your beach entirely.
And it's a mindset, and they think it's a beach. They want just clear sand and all that, but in reality, we've got to have that vegetation there. And I'll be honest with you, way back in the day, I thought the same thing, but I've over the years learned how important this is. What about this picture here?
So after it's planted, we go back and take measurements. So here I'm doing the post-installation monitoring. I'm measuring the height of the plants, how the percent cover, and the number of shoots that have grown on a transect.
So this is that little marine biology stuff you learned in West Florida, right?
Yes.
Very good.
Well, I had help. Actually, we get a lot of help from the state of Florida to do a lot of partners to do our project.
That's the scientists coming out there, Jess.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
We have a lot of help.
You got to measure it.
We definitely have to measure it. I mean,
sure.
when we're funded by a grant, they want you to prove your project success.
You got to have results.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we got a couple of, this is, again, we're talking about education outreach and all, and let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back and wrap this up, okay? All right, welcome back. Here's special guests, Patrice Couch and Jess Johnson, but first, let's look at our fishing game times for today, brought to us by Mark Coward, Accounts Real Estate, looking on the screen there from 8:35 to 10:35 this morning, and this evening from 9:02 to 11:02. That'll be all the activity and outdoors that you want to participate in, so try to check out those times. Now, we're looking at, you're talking about grant funded. I mean, y'all, money just don't fall from the sky. Y'all work hard. I know y'all work hard and just put a lot of time into writing these grants. I know y'all do. Jesse come along, he's offering, I mean, they're going to help out on a golf tournament, and it's going to be to save the bay. Jess, tell us about this.
Yeah, so we're basically we adopted St. Andrew Bay Association to be our specific nonprofit agency because it's so vital and important, and they don't get funding. So one of the things that we decided to do immediately with obviously the change of the new brand was Save the Bay Golf Tournament. That's 100% of the proceeds are benefiting Baywatch and everything that they do. So come out and play for the Bay and save it. We actually have a discount today for everyone on. So if you have $400 of foursome if you want to come out. But also any donations are welcome, raffle items, anything that you want to do. We're raffling everything off. We're just trying to raise as much money as possible to support this great organization and keep our waters obviously healthy and clean.
Okay, now when and where will the golf tournament be?
This is going to be February 28th at the Nicholas Design Course in Bay Point.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and they'll be raffling off all kind of things also.
Be lots of, so 11 a.m. tea time, and then we'll actually have a wine hour after and live entertainment and dinner and raffle items and prizes. So it's going to be a fun day. So come out, have some fun, donate, and have a good time.
You know, we have, believe it or not, we have a lot of golfers watch the show. They tell me they watch the show. I run into them different places. They golf and fish. So you guys and girls out there that are watching this, y'all, this is, you know, we all have a part in the bay system and the health of the bay system. So we all stakeholders in it. So, you know, great chance to raise some money and give to a worthy cause, and they help monitor it. So that would help you too, right?
Oh, definitely. We're really excited about it. You know, and Bay Point Resort's right next to the Aquatic Preserve and the state park, and you know, it's a beautiful location. So we're really excited about this new partnership. But we need people to sign up. So please tell your friends and sign up. Any donation is appreciated. It's a great value. I mean, because you get dinner and wine reception and music.
Sound like a good time there. St. Andrew Bay Resource Management Association here, and you see all the things they do. And this fundraiser goes 100%. Now I like that. 100% of your money is going to do that.
Yep, 100%. We just want to support them as much as possible, and they're going to be our partner moving on. This is the first annual, so obviously we're hoping next year will be bigger and better.
Yeah, you sort of hit the ground running when you got here. Right?
Yes, we did. We're excited about the new hotel, and we're excited about Baywatch and the partnership.
We're going to see if we can get to you about some fishing tournaments and all that too, and maybe throw some of that money that way too. So that'd be a good
Absolutely.
idea.
Great. And they can sign up at our website, the standrewbaywatch.org, or
at baypointresorts.com.
Okay, y'all got that.
So,
okay. I've got a few quick pictures left. Let's take a look at these and tell us about education outreach. That's important to you.
Very important. So we do the science. We train volunteers to do the science, but we also, you know, want to share our results. So we do Earth Day. Citizen Science is a monthly lecture series at the college. One of our new projects with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is bay grasses and classes at the Dean Bozeman School. So
and that's part of it right
here.
Yeah,
the kids are building a greenhouse so the plants could overwinter, and that's before the cover is on.
Okay.
We plant in smooth cordgrass. The kids are growing the plants, and then they're going to be installing the plants. That's a close-up. They're going to be installing the plants up on West Bay at the end of the month.
Cool.
So the kids are growing the grasses and doing the living shorelines.
We got our kids out of class to plant the sea oats, and they're going to get them out of class. The kids love to get out of class for anything. Especially they're learning something good. We run out of time. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank
you for coming on. And good luck on your tournament, and we'll be keeping people posted.
Okay, thank you, Winston.
Thank you, folks, for watching Panhandle Outdoors. These are the kind of things we have to do as an outdoor community to help out on this. This is good for everybody, so I want you all to pitch in and do what you can do. Even don't golf, you know, try to help out. Y'all do something good for your fellow man today. Have a great day in outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.